Before he became a pastor, before he became a symbol of redemption, there was a time when the name Kayode Williams struck fear across Lagos. In the 1970s, he wasn't preaching salvation. He was running with one of the most dangerous robbery gangs Nigeria had ever seen. In the story of Nigerian crime history, several names shaped the nation's early battle with armed robbery. Among them is a man whose life would later become a case study in transformation, Solomon Olumuyiwa Kayode Williams. Born into comfort, Kayode did not come from the street. His mother was a successful fabric merchant in Ibadan. He attended good schools, played football, and grew up with every opportunity to succeed. But sometimes, the most dangerous journeys begin with small, careless steps. In his teenage years, Kayode drifted toward older, wealthier men who exposed him to a lifestyle of fast money, power, and nightlife. What began as fascination soon became influence. He was introduced to the world of quick cash, stolen goods, and eventually the gun.
By the late 1960s, Nigeria was passing through a difficult period. Urban crime was rising. The economic imbalance after the Civil War created a breeding ground for young men seeking shortcuts to wealth. Lagos, especially, was becoming a battleground between the law and rising criminal gangs. It was in this chaotic environment that Kayode encountered a man who would alter the direction of his life forever. Ishola Oyenushi, the notorious armed robber whose confidence and brutality made him one of the most feared criminals in Nigeria's history. Oyenushi was not just a gang leader. He was a symbol of rebellion against a troubled system. And for a young man like Kayode, the attraction was irresistible. He joined the gang and soon became a trusted member. Their operations were daring: car snatching, armed robbery attacks, and nighttime operations that left Lagos residents in fear. By the late 1960s, Nigeria was passing through a difficult period. Urban crime was rising. The economic imbalance after the Civil War created a breeding ground for young men seeking shortcuts to wealth. Lagos, especially, was becoming a battleground between the law and rising criminal gangs. It was in this chaotic environment that Kayode encountered a man who would alter the direction of his life forever. Ishola Oyenushi, the notorious armed robber whose confidence and brutality made him one of the most feared criminals in Nigeria's history. Oyenushi was not just a gang leader. He was a symbol of rebellion against a troubled system. And for a young man like Kayode, the attraction was irresistible. He joined the gang and soon became a trusted member. Their operations were daring: car snatching, armed robbery attacks, and nighttime operations that left Lagos residents in fear. As he walked into prison for the first time, Kayode later recalled feeling as though his life had ended. The loud iron doors, the overcrowded cells, the harshness of daily survival. Prison did not just take his freedom, it stripped away everything he once believed he was.
Prison is often described as a place of punishment, but for some it becomes a place of reflection and rebirth. For Kayode Williams, the man who once walked confidently with armed robbers, prison became the soil in which a different life took root. Life behind bars was brutal. Cells were congested, food was scarce, violence was common. But it was in this environment that Kayode began to confront the reality of what his choices had cost him. His freedom, his reputation, and the peace of his family. In the middle of this despair, something unexpected happened. A group of Christian missionaries visited the prison on a routine outreach program. Their message was simple: forgiveness, second chances, and the possibility of change. Kayode listened, Not because he believed, but because he was tired. Tired of running. Tired of pretending. That simple message planted a seed. Days turned into weeks. Weeks into months. Kayode found himself drawn to faith. Not as an escape, but as a mirror reflecting his deepest flaws and regrets. He began attending fellowship meetings. He studied the Bible. He started praying. Slowly, a hardened criminal became a thoughtful young man searching for a new identity. Prison warders noticed the change. Fellow inmates listened when he spoke. Kayode became a guiding figure inside the prison walls, encouraging others, settling disputes, and offering hope in a place where hope rarely existed. After serving his sentence, Kayode walked out of prison with a new mission. He emerged not as the young robber the world once feared, but as a man determined to prevent others from making the mistakes he once made. He founded the Prison Rehabilitation Mission International, PREMI, an organization dedicated to helping inmates find transformation and supporting ex-convicts as they return to society. Kayode became a pastor, preacher, and advocate for prison reform. He traveled across Nigeria, speaking in churches, schools, and correctional facilities, reminding young people that crime has no happy ending and that transformation is possible, even for the worst of offenders. For his work, he earned the respect of government officials, religious bodies, and communities nationwide. He became a symbol of redemption, a living example that a man's past does not have to define his future. Today, Bishop Kayode Williams continues to teach the values of discipline, forgiveness, and moral responsibility. His message is simple: if a man like me can change, then anyone can. His story stands as a powerful reminder that even in the darkest corners of society, light can still emerge. A criminal became a reformer. A prisoner became a pastor. A life once defined by violence became a vessel of hope.